When Liu Yuning pushed Gong Jun into the mud, was the backlash fair? What happens when a few seconds of a variety show suddenly become a major online debate? A playful moment between Liu Yuning and Gong Jun on the Earth Fresh 2 was turned into a discussion about boundaries, safety, friendship, and even how celebrity interactions should be judged. But there is one important detail that can easily get lost when a short clip spreads online: the people involved eventually spoke for themselves. So, was Liu Yuning unfairly criticized, or did the moment genuinely cross a line? Welcome back to Celeb Buzz Insider. Today, we are looking at both sides of this controversy without turning a playful variety show moment into something it was never confirmed to be. The incident took place during a mud pit game on the Earth Fresh 2. After the game, the cast were gathered on an elevated platform while the director was speaking. In the footage that circulated online, Liu Yuning used his elbow to push Gong Jun off the platform and into the mud. The short clip quickly attracted criticism from viewers who felt Gong Jun appeared unprepared for the move and that the situation raised a reasonable question about physical boundaries. But that is only one part of the story. Other reports describing the fuller footage say Gong Jun subsequently pulled Liu Yuning into the mud as well, with the two continuing to interact in a playful atmosphere. That wider context matters because the meaning of a physical joke can look very different when viewers see the interaction before and after the viral moment rather than only a few seconds of it. And there is another fact that deserves attention: neither Liu Yuning nor Gong Jun treated the incident publicly as a serious personal conflict. On July 18, Liu Yuning posted a message saying that if there were things he had not handled well, he would pay more attention in the future. He also communicated to fans that he and Gong Jun had already talked privately and asked people not to attack others or continue escalating the dispute. Gong Jun also responded that same evening, emphasizing that he and Liu Yuning were very good friends and encouraging viewers to enjoy the program rather than overinterpret the interaction. Their subsequent friendly exchange further suggested that the two themselves did not view the moment as evidence of a broken relationship. That brings us to the first side of the debate. From the more optimistic perspective, this looks like exactly the kind of spontaneous interaction that makes variety shows entertaining. Liu Yuning and Gong Jun have established familiarity through their work together, and their interactions on the program have often leaned toward teasing and playful competition. In a show built around games, travel, and group chemistry, physical comedy can sometimes happen very quickly. Supporters of Liu Yuning can therefore argue that judging the entire relationship from one short clip is unfair. If the full sequence shows both men continuing to joke and interact normally, then interpreting the moment as evidence of hostility or intentional harm goes beyond what the available footage can establish. There is also a second positive point. When the controversy began growing, Liu Yuning did not simply dismiss every criticism. His statement that he would be more careful in the future can reasonably be read as acknowledging that, regardless of his intention, the action could have been perceived differently by viewers. That distinction is important. You can believe that someone did not intend to cause harm while also believing that the action could have been handled more carefully. But the other side deserves equal consideration. Critics are not necessarily claiming that Liu Yuning and Gong Jun are enemies. Their argument is much narrower. Even between close friends, physical jokes have limits, especially when someone is standing on an elevated surface and may not be prepared for sudden movement. That concern is understandable. A variety show environment does not automatically remove the possibility of accidents. What looks harmless after the fact can still carry some physical risk in the moment. And viewers are allowed to question whether a particular action was sensible without automatically accusing the person involved of having malicious intentions. This is where the debate becomes more complicated than simply asking, was Liu Yuning right or wrong? The strongest criticism is about judgment and safety. The strongest defense is about context and the relationship between the two people involved. And importantly, neither side needs to invent a dramatic conclusion. There is no confirmed basis here for claiming that Liu Yuning and Gong Jun have a serious personal conflict. In fact, their own public responses point in the opposite direction. There is also no reason to transform a questionable physical joke into a much larger accusation about someone's character. At Celeb Buzz Insider, our view is that the most revealing part of this story may actually be what happened after the clip went viral. The internet focused heavily on the elbow, the fall, and the question of who was right. But the more meaningful development was how both celebrities responded once people began arguing on their behalf. Liu Yuning asked his supporters not to attack others and indicated that he and Gong Jun had already communicated privately. Gong Jun independently emphasized their friendship and encouraged people to focus on enjoying the program. That does not mean every criticism was unreasonable. It simply shows why separating fact from interpretation matters. The fact is that Liu Yuning pushed Gong Jun into the mud during the program. The fan reaction is that some viewers considered the action too physical or unsafe, while others saw it as ordinary teasing between familiar colleagues. The opinion is there is no confirmed basis here for claiming that Liu Yuning and Gong Jun have a serious personal conflict. In fact, their own public responses point in the opposite direction. There is also no reason to transform a questionable physical joke into a much larger accusation about someone's character. At Celeb Buzz Insider, our view is that the most revealing part of this story may actually be what happened after the clip went viral. The internet focused heavily on the elbow, the fall, and the question of who was right. But the more meaningful development was how both celebrities responded once people began arguing on their behalf. Liu Yuning asked his supporters not to attack others and indicated that he and Gong Jun had already communicated privately. Gong Jun independently emphasized their friendship and encouraged people to focus on enjoying the program. That does not mean every criticism was unreasonable. It simply shows why separating fact from interpretation matters. The fact is that Liu Yuning pushed Gong Jun into the mud during the program. The fan reaction is that some viewers considered the action too physical or unsafe, while others saw it as ordinary teasing between familiar colleagues. The opinion is that the fuller context makes the harshest interpretations difficult to sustain. And speculation would begin only if we claimed that this incident secretly revealed a deeper conflict or a major change in their relationship. There is currently no solid evidence for that conclusion. So what happens next? The more interesting possibility is not whether this particular argument returns to the headlines, but whether future episodes change how the audience watches their interactions. Will viewers become more sensitive to every physical joke? Or will the controversy fade as the cast continues creating the relaxed chemistry that made the show popular in the first place? That remains unknown. What we do know is that a few seconds of television can produce a completely different story when separated from its original context. And in celebrity entertainment, that may be the bigger lesson here. Sometimes the most viral interpretation is not necessarily the most complete one. So now we want to hear from you. Do you think Liu Yuning's action was simply playful between friends, or do you think the criticism about boundaries and safety was justified? And after hearing both sides, has your view of the moment changed? Share your opinion respectfully in the comments, and stay with Celeb Buzz Insider for more balanced celebrity stories, reactions, and analysis.